We could just use us talking about if we want anything for the intro as the intro.
Wait.
It's the 7th episode and we're out of ideas. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've got. How familiar are you with For the Longest Time?
What?
Whoa, the longest for the long. You know, if you
I've heard,
say,
oh,
you don't know it
a little
enough?
bit.
Nah,
I don't know it nearly enough.
I'm thinking of the scene from How I Met Your Mother where.
Oh yeah, well,
Barney.
I've barely watched that. As we found out in sitcoms.
Shows.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I don't watch sitcoms.
I just can't believe you're like number 4. I haven't finished it. But it's my 4th favorite TV show. Or
Yeah, could you
sitcom,
imagine?
I guess, yeah.
Imagine if I came into sandwiches and I was like, I really like peanut butter and jams. I've never had one.
Yeah, I've never had one, but I just appreciate how they
However,
look.
I've only ever eaten half. I got to finish it still.
Yeah.
I love those TikToks. People like, I finished half of my taco or whatever, saving the rest for later.
Oh.
And then it's just the fucking most atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, those are so fucking funny. One of my favorite photos I've ever received was from one of my friends, and she was like, about to just cut this bagel for myself, and she had the knife on top of the bagel and her finger through the bagel hole to hold it up. I was like, that's so fucking funny. Just
Hey, where'd my finger go? Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Just keep going.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yeah, dude.
And don't do the rhyme if you can't do the rhyme.
Don't eat pine if
You want a good time.
if you don't like salads. Oh.
Yeah, and I've never been. Yep, that's it.
Welcome back to Rankings.
The show where we rank things. Wow.
Today, wonderful, exciting episode. Super exciting episode. It is a super episode. We're doing superpowers.
Yeah, we're doing superpowers today.
Now, I don't know about you, but I think a lot of like the basic superpowers that are used in like a lot of TV and stuff like that are like kind of boring.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I have that. I'm
Cool.
in the same mindset as you are. Where
they're on my list because they have to be there because they are the classics.
They're up here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mine are like more, whenever I have like, this is how I think of my lists. I think of 10, 9, and 8 to be where I need everything that's kind of weird and funky that I've just kind of like heard of or like getting into. That's where it needs to be because it's not my favorite yet. It hasn't had the time.
That's true.
But it's making its way up the list. 7, 6, and 5 is where everything that's like mid is. Yeah. That's where everything is like, this has to be on the list, but it's not a top 3. It's not, yeah, exactly. And then 4, 3, 2, 1, that's where I get into like, these are my favorites. I like these.
I actually have like a I guess in this case it would be like, here's like superpowers I actually really want, and here's like kind of ones to various degrees of I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But like I didn't put a lot of
mind.
Yeah. There's a lot of like there's a lot of conventional superpowers that are seem really cool in the movies and in comics because they're useful for fighting crime.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. If I woke up with superpowers, I don't think I would be like, I have to go be a superhero because one, we don't have like supervillains running around.
No.
And I just feel like I would just use the superpower to help me with my day-to-day life.
I think it'd be fun to like stop a crime every now and then, but how often do you actually see a crime occur?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I feel like unless you have a superpower that would like help you find where it is, but then if that's your only superpower, what do you do next?
And I wouldn't
just
understand how that would work either, because if you had a superpower, I would assume it would be a natural thing. So anything to do with the superpower would have to do with the natural world, whereas committing a crime is not a natural thing. That's a human-made.
That's what I'm saying. You need like some kind of supervision or super hearing, but I also feel like
a police transponder.
I just so for superpowers.
Let's get into it.
I'm very excited because I feel like there's a lot of room for creativity on this.
Dude, there really is. And I didn't see how much I scribbled.
Yeah. You're lucky I have such terrible eyesight that you flipped that and I'm like,
you're lucky
I didn't catch anything.
Writing is shit.
You started the last one, so I think
you start
I
this one
will
off 100%.
kick us off with my number 10, which is a very basic, very conventional one, where it's like, if I had it, it'd be cool, but I don't see how it would really, I guess for traveling, but I don't know if I'd be able to travel very far with it, but like, it would be fun, but I wouldn't really help my life in any way. I put flying. The ability to fly.
Cool.
It's a cool power, and like you could do some fun stuff with it, but also like it realistically in our world, if you could fly, like people would be like, holy shit, that guy's flying, and then like I don't know, the military would experiment on you.
Yeah, I feel like there's like too many drawbacks.
Yeah, it's just
of being. Of just being a superhero in general, I think there'd probably be way too many modern drawbacks. Yeah.
I feel like, are we both kind of basing these like superpowers given to us in our life? Yes. Right? So we're basing this a lot in reality.
Yeah.
Not like to the full extent, because like I'll talk about it with some later where I've heard some things where it's yeah, I'll come to it when we get to it later. But yeah, flight, okay. I just feel like there's too many drawbacks.
Flight's on my list. It's actually fairly high up. Flight's on my list, but I was talking with a buddy about this. Flight is only, and this is why it's high up on my list, because I qualify flight. If you can fly, I would want it to be so that you could also fly into space.
But then you need to be able to breathe without oxygen.
Exactly. So that would kind of have to be the pairing for me.
Are you like? I feel like you need some kind of super strength with flight, because like the higher you go up, the colder it gets, and at some point it's just like you can't go, because like okay, if you fly too low to the ground, then you'll be warmer, but then people can see you, and if people see you, then people will record, like you won't be able to keep it a secret that you can fly. But you go too high, you'll be too cold, oxygen's too thin.
They even like I remember like being like. Also, I didn't mean to ask this at the beginning of the episode, just as a question. Who is your favorite superhero?
Oh, Batman.
Okay,
and he doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah, mine's Spider-Man.
I always say that most people's favorite superheroes is normally one or the other. People are normally very Team Batman or Team Spider-Man. Yeah. And like to a various degrees, like I lump in
the most popular of each.
Yeah, like I lump in like Miles Morales in with Spider-Man, and I lump in like Nightwing and all that like kind of more Batman-y stuff. But like at the end of the day, they normally fall into one of two camps, and that's interesting that we have one of each.
But no, so like talking about the realism side of things, Spider-Man, they talked about how like if somebody actually became Spider-Man, what that would actually do to somebody's body, and the force of you swinging would actually just rip your fucking limbs off.
See, that's the kind of stuff I'm not considering with like. Yeah.
But that's the same kind of thing with like flight, where it's like if you fly and it's super cold, I need something else. So like realistically, the only reason Spider-Man can swing is because he's also got super strength, and he's like built.
You need stuff exactly, because like my thought is like I didn't consider the drawback of a superpower on my list if it completely like null and voided the superpower.
Yes.
So there's one on here, but it's way up on my list, so we'll get to it. It's my number 4, so we'll remember it number 4. Okay. But it's just like if it completely cancels out the like perks of the superpower, then I'm not considering it. But with flight, it's like you could fly.
Yeah.
But like there are some things that, like about if just like again like being seen by society, like you'd be on TikTok within a day, and people like, "Did you see the guy who's fucking flying?"
Yeah, you'd be in a hellhole of social media.
You'd never. And it's just like at that point, I'm like, I don't know if it's really worth it.
It's not worth it at that point.
Like if I was in like a rural area, or it's like if I could fly high enough where no one would see me and I wouldn't interfere with planes, anything. If I could just like fly home instead of having to take a train, I'd do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's convenient. You're number 10.
My number 10. Okay, so this is one that I found when I was looking through superpowers.
I also did that.
Yeah. I do that with a lot of our episodes. I search everything up so that I have everything there and I have all the options.
Just to be reminded me of, exactly. Because it's not like I'm not like reading like, oh, grilled cheese is all this, then I'm going to put grilled cheese. It's just like sometimes I'm like, I sit down, I'm like, I don't know if I can list you 10 superpowers. And then like,
I'm not actively researching. But
like I write down a list of a bunch. Yeah. And then I look at them, and like sometimes you write down a bunch, like I don't want that on my list. So I'm like, I need to know what else is out there. And then you get reminded like, oh, that's where I got creamsicle from. I totally would have forgot creamsicle.
And like there's some stuff on here that I learn, and I'm like, okay, that's way better than what I would have put at number 10.
Yes.
Which is, for instance, this one, omnilingualism. So this
every
is
language.
Yeah, you can speak any language. I was thinking about this, and I was like, this is such a good power to have. Number 1, because it's just so useful in just everyday life. Right? That's to be able to communicate with anybody is such
a useful skill,
a useful skill, and like actually practical.
One that wouldn't get tested on by a government if it was as your superpower. Yeah. You could just so easily pass off that you are just extremely gifted.
And then I also thought about it. I was like, think about how integral that is to, if again, big what ifs, and like we're talking fantasy world, right?
Yeah.
But if aliens ever came to Earth, think about how integral that is.
Oh,
you could speak.
You're saying like every language.
You can just understand everything.
Okay, that's That's super sick. Yeah.
Think about how cool that is, and like that also like would just save humanity.
Would you say that under this power you can speak to animals?
Well, a lot of animals don't actually have a language, right?
That's, I guess, okay, yeah, that's fair.
It would be if you have organized language.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I always with the I don't know if you've heard of this Would You Rather before, but I think it's a really classic one, is speak every language or play every instrument. And I've always been, I would like to be able to play every instrument over speak every language. However, now that you've introduced the thought of like alien species comes and I can communicate, that puts me a little bit on the fence.
If you think about it, if an alien species ever gets here, there is no possible way that they have all of that technology and have never communicated with each other. They have a language of some sort, and like there is animals that have languages
really
like
reclusive and like introverts.
Well, if there's anyone in the universe to talk to, it's definitely not us. They don't want to see us.
Yeah,
we are so self-destructive that like.
So you put a camera on a table and you film yourself talking about things and how much you like the things, and that's what and you're not getting paid for this. You're just doing it.
Yeah, we just find it fun.
I don't know why that was the voice I gave to the alien.
They're probably more distinguished than we are.
Yeah.
They're probably
sir.
British.
Welcome to Earth. What a fine planet you used to have.
But yeah, I just that you used to have. Yeah, I remember looking back on this years ago. You guys have fucked this thing up.
I remember when this was all Orange Grove. Like a parent driving to I remember when this used to be a rural town.
There used to be a lot more oxygen on this one.
Elvis is actually alive. Did you know this?
Yeah, you're like, what?
Yeah, he renamed himself to Tucker Carlson. Do you feel bad about listening to his music? Conspiracies.
Yeah. You'll never listen to Elvis the same way again. Yeah. Elvis is Tucker Carlson. That's so wild. We got to run that by Tatum and Nyla.
Yeah.
You guys think Elvis is actually Tucker?
Yeah. Do you like
Is Elvis actually like the most right-wing dude in news?
Yeah. He got fired, didn't he? I don't follow Fox News.
There was also like a theory that went around.
Putin, so he's still being just as problematic.
Yeah, there was also a theory that went around that that he was actually like super liberal, but
that
he had to be.
That he was doing it for like clout and for his job.
Yeah, and because he got hired for Fox. That's Fox's whole shtick. That's Fox's take on things. So he was like he had to do that. So there's a theory about that, which is wild. But if you think about it, his net worth is probably.
It's crazy that's what Fox News is. When they used to have Brooklyn Nine-Nine that used to be a Fox show.
And Family Guy rips on
Fox all the time.
Fox
Same with
all the time,
Simpsons.
especially for being right wing.
Yeah.
They rip on Fox all the time for being right wing. I watched a Family Guy episode recently where it was only in like the 8th season too. Like they've had it on Fox for ages.
20, they legitimately just
right now. Yeah, like ripped into Fox for being just not good people.
Yeah.
Which I think is so funny that they continue to air, which just makes me think that everybody at Fox was like, that's such a funny joke. Oh my God, they talked about us. And then they just didn't think about it. Like Family Guy's like, no, we're serious.
We're being super serial right now. So my power from number 9 is one that I always thought would be super zen and super relaxing.
Oh, cool.
Is I wrote down, I found a term for it that I like, and that term was hydrokinesis, but that essentially means that you have control of and can manipulate water and can like breathe and stuff underwater.
Okay.
So that I think is such a sick power. I've always thought as a kid, when I was a kid, I had the thought all the time that if I could to just go off in somewhere, if I really need to calm down and relax, I would love to just sit at the bottom of like a pool or like a lake of just like in the water. It's like I feel like I would love that. Calm. Just being able to breathe underwater.
Pools are so cool to be in, like at the very bottom when you're just sitting there and there's nothing. It's such a liminal space.
Because you can in pools like swim to the bottom and like sit there for a little bit before you have to like keep yourself pushed down there. But
you can breathe for or not breathe, but you can hold your breath for a pretty long time as a person.
But if I could just sit down there and just decompress, like imagine if you could nap underwater. That'd be so great.
That's pretty similar to my 9.
Yeah?
Yeah. My 9, okay, so I wrote, because I didn't really know how to write this one. Because again, it was just one of those ones where I thought about it. I was like, this is actually really cool.
It was hard to title these. Like, I have some that like got pretty long and I just started like abbreviating. I
just wrote benders from like Avatar. Oh, yeah. So like airbenders, waterbenders, all that. Anything within that space. I feel like it would be really, really cool.
You were right. If you had to pick one, what would you pick?
Oh, shit. See, like, I feel like that's hard because like, there's so many. I feel like the better ones to pick. Like, I feel like Earth is kind of lame.
Yeah, I also feel like wind is kind of lame.
Really?
I don't know what you do with wind.
Because you could fly with that.
Oh, I haven't seen Avatar.
You could totally like. Well, I mean, in Avatar, he has like a glider that he uses, but he uses the wind to push the glider along. If I had wind, like sure, it would still be cool, but it's like I'd rather have the water one. The water one seems pretty cool. I think because I was like fire just seems evil. Yeah. What are you doing really with fire?
Like again, like in day-to-day life, like I'm not going to go out and become a superhero. Yeah. Because I genuinely don't think I can help any situations as a superhero.
The wind one just seems the most practical to me because I was like, you could just blow anything. You could blow anything, dude.
I want to be You've swayed me. No.
Like I think about it, like you could use it as like telekinesis, where like you could bring things over to you, like just using the wind, just like have the wind pick it up and bring it to you.
I do have telekinesis soon coming up, but like I was gonna say, in that boat, I would rather just have telekinesis.
Exactly.
Then I feel
which is why this is down here. Oh wait, telekinesis isn't on my list.
Well,
never mind. Being a bender is better than telekinesis. I joked. I made a jokey joke.
I honestly, after I wrote it down, I thought I should have switched my 8 and 9, but like I was like, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I can have that mindset when we get to here. Yeah. But my number 8 is also a number basic one for me, is super speed, where that's one where you could have the perks of flying without the drawbacks of flying. So it's like, instead of, like with super speed, now no one can see you. Yeah. Because you can just like, and you're there.
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Boys?
Yes, I have seen. And are you going to talk about the opening part of the first episode when he's holding her hands?
Yes. Yeah, that is crazy. The drawback. Because I think about that, and I'm like, this is why super speed to me is. No, it's not lame because it's on my list as well.
But like I know,
but it's like kind of dumb.
There's also the thing of like when you exist in regular time, does it feel super slow to you? Because sometimes it's portrayed as yes, it does.
Yeah, there's two possible ways that this could occur. Right, super speed could occur. You could be actually really fast, but if that happens, that means your mind can't process anything fast enough, so you're just running blind. Or essentially, if your mind does process things fast enough,
then everything's super slow.
Yeah, there's a chance for. Like, even if you are processing everything super fast and like it's all in real time still, there is a chance for mistake, like in The Boys, like something like that. I would
just love the way I would burn calories would be insane. Yeah, I'd love that.
Whereas like how they portray the Flash, whereas like everything's slow in his mind, he's just running. Yeah, he's just running in slow motion. Basically,
yeah, like the world is frozen and he's just running,
and that fucking sucks for him to have to run around the earth.
He's still running quick. Like I don't think if he was like running from here to I don't know. I don't think if he was running from like the CN Tower to I'm trying to think of another landmark that's not near the CN Tower. I guess if he was trying to run from Toronto to Kingston, I don't think that would take him like 10 hours in slow motion though. I still think he runs. Like I would want this kind of
obviously like that's still, but like again, that's like the only two ways that I can see super speed being a thing, and both don't sound enjoyable.
No,
because one is like either you could accidentally run into something, or the other is like takes you ages to get everywhere, but just doesn't take long for everybody else.
I'm thinking like I had it at my number 8. Like if I could have it in a world where it's just like I'm running quickly and everything else is slowed down, so that way I won't run into anything. Then it's like I would do that, because I'm thinking about it like what would I use super speed for if I had super speed? I'd use it to get places. I'd use it to get more done. Yeah, I'd be able to sleep in more because I could like go to wherever I need like immediately. I'd be able to like get myself ready quicker.
I feel like
be on top of cleaning and cooking. You could save yourself so much time, but it all depends on how it works.
I feel like people would also just think you're a dick.
Yeah.
Because like imagine like sitting in a lecture hall and then all of a sudden this gust of wind blows by you and there's someone sitting in a fucking chair.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
And you're just sitting there like, really, dude, like all your fucking papers are everywhere now. You're like, fucking
God damn it, man. Like this is
just wake up on time.
Like, fuck. I would, although if I did do it, I wouldn't want to be known to have a superpower, so I would do it where I would like run super quickly to like somewhere like a little less, like I wouldn't do it right into the lecture hall. I would walk into the lecture hall normally. Yeah. But there's definitely a lot of drawbacks to super speed.
Yeah, so. I think so.
But it deserves
it's
a mention.
It's higher up on my list though. So I mean, technically I like it more than you do, I guess.
Your number 9.
So weird to me. So my number 8.
Yeah.
So my number 8 is necromancy, which is the ability to talk to the dead. I think that's really cool.
I thought about putting that on my list, but I didn't. But you're right. I thought like, yes, that would be super cool, but I also thought about how it would like, would that mess with my relationship with death? And like, I don't know, but at the same time, like you wouldn't need to, that could just be your job from now on. It's like, I can talk to the dead. Like, come here and I'll talk to your, I'll legitimately talk to your dead.
That's so like wildly. And the thing is about that too, though, is like, that's number one, that's a superpower you can cover up.
Yeah.
Number 2, it's a superpower that you can't actually convince anyone you have.
That's true. No one knows.
There is no way of proving that to people.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess the job I just described was a psychic. Was a real world psychic where like I can talk to your dead mother if you pay me $30
for them to be like, has anything bad happened recently?
She loves you, like I guess you, and she's still dead.
Yeah, she's watching.
Can you imagine you pay a psychic and they're
still dead,
and they're just like, yes, definitely dead. She's definitely dead. And it's like, okay, and Could you imagine if you were a psychic and someone walked in and they were like, oh, I want you to talk to my dead mother, and you charge the shit out of them and they go, they're not actually dead. You have to find them. They're in Wisconsin. I mean, they're in the States.
Yeah. You have to find them now. You must dedicate your life to find, and then this person just dedicates their entire life to finding someone that actually did die. That's why I think like psychics are so fucked up. One of the things that I always wanted to do, however, is get high and go to a psychic. Because I feel like that'd just be really funny.
Yeah. Whoa, man, you're so right.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't know why every time I'm like trying to impersonate someone who's high, I turn into like a 70s like we should all just share the wealth, man. Like, you know the band from the Muppets, like the main guy.
Yeah, he plays the bass or the guitar. He plays the guitar.
Yeah.
He's got
the girl one who plays the bass. They're both like have the same person. Just all of them, but animal. Because he's just like,
he's actually an animal, yeah.
But that's the kind of high I would like to be.
But yeah, like necromancy,
just animal high.
Coked out, like.
Oh, I guess so. Then never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I guess.
Holy shit.
Yeah, although I feel like sugar could also get you there. Maybe I just want to have enough sugar so I can.
Or another Red Bull.
Yeah, well, let's go. You're just like even bigger.
Fucking comically large Red Bull pulled out of my bag. Like this one is for you.
Yep, this one's for me. Like a keg size.
Keg of Red Bull.
Necromancy though, it would be cool for you personally. It would help with my chronic loneliness.
I feel like it'd be cool, and it would be good for solving crimes.
Yeah,
that's something that would be really cool.
But again, you can't prove it. So do you take that to a trial and then like
you would have to find? This is actually a great plot for a TV show. You'd have
a legitimate necromancer who keeps having to.
He has to
deal
just
with the law.
Well, it's like that, or it's like he solves crimes, but he has to find ways to
organically
solving it. Yeah, you'd have to, because that would be what you'd have to do. You'd have to organically solve it.
Yeah.
So like you could talk to the dead and be like, who killed you? Oh, it was my husband. And you'd be like, okay, where do I look for evidence? And then you'd go, you find the evidence, whatever, sort it all out for them, and you'd be like, oh, I found all this evidence. Here you go.
I like that we're actually just like listing superpowers and then poking holes in them for 8 minutes and then being like, yeah, it's still good, I guess.
Yeah. because like a lot of superpowers
I thought you didn't have super speed on yours at all, and then you're like, I have it higher than you at the end. So
which I think is funny, but it's again one of those things where it's like, you know how I said like this area through here is like the mid area for me, and it's like that's where all my basic ones go. For the next,
were the ones I'm less,
for the next 4 or 5 ish are like basic ish.
So actually, I have one that is super funky here, but I actually think is super useful for my number 7.
Yeah.
Where the label I saw for it was probability manipulation.
I saw that
where you can make the odds.
We definitely searched the same. Did you search list of superpowers?
I think I just typed in superpowers into Google and started like doing.
We definitely looked at the same thing.
Yeah, probably.
I did see that one.
Probability manipulation sounded super useful because
the lottery.
Yeah, the lottery and casinos and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
And even just like applying for jobs or just like difficult conversations with friends and family. It's like
difficult conversations. You're
let's make the odds go my way.
Up the odds. Oh, look at that. You're not angry anymore.
Or like, you know, if you want to impress people and you're doing something for the first time, like I can increase the odds that I'll just be really good at this. Yeah, that's really I will be natural at this.
For party tricks. Yeah.
Like right. I just see like that is a superpower that I see very little drawbacks on that could just assist my day-to-day life.
All you've described is like manipulation,
but I guess so. Not that
you're
I'm
just
saying
like a shitty dude.
Yeah, I guess. But like with difficult conversations, it's not that I would be like, I'm gonna make this so I always win, but just like, especially like I'm the kind of person where I assume every time I open my mouth I'm making it worse. So just like
me too.
Just having the ability to just be like, in my mind, I hear how it sounds now, but in my mind how I had it was that I would have it where how I meant it would be how it was perceived.
Yeah.
I would adjust my odds that it would just be like, it's more likely that you will understand this directly how I mean it than interpret it in your own way where it could possibly make things worse.
Yeah. No, I completely
or
understand
even just
that.
manipulate the odds that it stays civil. You know,
yes,
that it
would
goes
be good.
better.
That would be the best way to do it.
But I get what you're saying, where you could totally just like in the wrong hands, someone could just be like, everyone's gonna love me all the time now.
That legitimately brings me to mind because I was like, some of these superpowers are actually just there's not really any good that can come with them, and that's what comes with my number 7.
Oh, it's feeding time.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
The cats are being fed. Cats being fed. Yippee! Yo, hold on. Am I basically off out of frame right now? Hold on. Do I have to fix? I've been basically sitting out of frame. I think I need to fix where the camera's pointing. I don't know what happened.
We're back. We had to fix the camera, and the cats were being fed. But also, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was kind of out of the frame.
But it's okay.
Okay,
we're
so
still early on.
My number 7. We're talking about like just shit that could be like used poorly in the wrong. Also, how much space does that have left? 15 minutes left on that card. Perfect. Let's remember that. So cool. So invisibility.
This is your next one.
There's actually just no good that can be used with invisibility.
I disagree.
If you really, if you choose invisibility as a superpower, there's
you're going to commit a crime for it to be to your advantage. I feel like
there's nothing good that you can do with invisibility. You're either a fucking creep, or you're just
like a thief or whatever.
A thief, yeah.
Because like with invisibility, and this is one of the ones where it's like this is a drawback I just completely ignored. Is that I've heard people say before, like, well, your eyes only see because the light bounces off of you, and if you turned invisible and your eyes turned invisible, your light wouldn't be able to bounce off your retina, therefore you wouldn't be able to see every time. And I was like, I don't count that because that makes
okay, libtard.
Yeah. Like that just ruins the superpower now, because it's like, cool, I'm invisible, but I can't do anything with it. I do have invisibility on my list.
Okay.
So I'll put a pin in it for now.
Does that mean it's high up on your list?
It is.
Oh,
it is.
I think it is a bad superpower, and I think if you have invisibility, you're probably not a good person.
Probably. I have my justifications for it, but I'll save it for when we get to it.
I think I'd enjoy having it because I feel like it'd be just fun to like walk around and be like, oh, nobody sees me. Yeah. But that's entertainment value that would wear off after like a day of having it.
See, I have some rebuttals to that, but I'll keep it for when we get to mine.
So your number 6.
My number 6 is telekinesis.
Cool.
Which is the ability to move things with your mind.
Yes.
Not the ability to talk to people with your mind or read minds. Yeah. Telekinesis. I was like, I just think it'd be nice to be like, oh, bring me thing. I probably would gain a lot of weight because I'd get up less because I'd be bringing things to me constantly. But telekinesis, like even just like there could be
how many things you can move.
Yes, all there would also be situations where I would probably use my powers to like save. Like if there was a situation where like I don't know, someone's like I don't know, like there's time where I can move objects with my mind, and that can be useful for either saving someone who's under something, keeping something together while it's crumbling. Like if I was in a situation where I found myself like that, then sure. And also like imagine you leave your house and you're like, fuck, I forgot like my sunglasses. I'm just gonna use my powers to like bring them to me.
Yeah. Super, very, very cool.
So like there's a lot of actually convenient stuff that can come with that.
Do you believe that there would be like a weight limit to like what you could lift? Because I think that's one of the dumbest things people have ever done with telekinesis is where they're like, oh, but they can't lift things that are certain weights. I'm like, they're just moving matter.
I guess so.
There wouldn't be a weight. I don't think there'd be a weight limit.
I think I just kind of had it in my mind that like the telekinesis kind of works how like the Green Lanterns work, where it's like willpower. So it's kind of like you need to be able to like the heavier it is, the more you need to be able to focus because there's a lot more you're moving, and so you need to have like a very specific. So it's not that you can't lift it, but it takes more out of you, so it's more difficult.
I would believe that, but I also believe that like if there was anything like with these superpowers, it would be second nature. Meaning like me doing this with my hand, it takes effort after a while, but me doing or like breathing, anything like that, that's all.
Well, it would be like, I think it'd be like reading or like riding a bike, where it's like you would like well, I guess like maybe those weren't the best examples because it doesn't take to your 40s to learn how to ride a bike. But I feel like by the time you're like, by the time you're an adult, I feel like you would probably have a pretty good grasp on it. But there'd be like a good few years where you're just like, that's too heavy for me to lift right now. I don't have the like even if you say you're younger, you just don't even have the you don't have the brain capacity for a multiplication table. How the hell are you supposed to lift up a school bus?
Yeah, I can see that
with your mind.
Do you think like telekinesis also allows you to like, do you think it only would allow you to like move things, or do you think it's like if you wanted to snap that marker with your mind, you'd also be able to do that? I think so. Yeah, that's what I would think as well.
Yeah. Again, I think it would take
of it
more
as like matter manipulation almost.
Yes, kind of. But I do think like also with breaking things that it would depend on like it would also take like some more out of you, because it's like, okay, I can lift up this marker, but like with my arms, like because it's not as easy to snap as a pencil, like it would bend, but it wouldn't snap. So it'd probably take a lot of like focus and concentration to like, so like that's how I have it set in my mind of how I think telekinesis would work.
I remember this kid on the bus telling me in public school on the way home. We were on the way home. This kid on the bus went, do you know that humans only use like 15% of their brain? Yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
What would happen if we could use all 100%?
Yeah, and then he goes, did you know if we could use 100%, we'd be able to move things with our mind? That sent me into a fucking... This kid was older than me too, so I trusted him. Obviously, that's fucking fake. It doesn't make any physical sense.
Do you know anyone who has 100% brain control?
This is true. But I went into a fucking huge flurry that night of trying to research if that was possible and how to like unlock your brain. Yeah. I was like, that's fucking awesome. But I was so young. I was like...
That's fair.
I was probably like 8.
You're number 6.
My number 6 is strength. Super strength. Because again, it's just like that one's cool. Out of all like the basic ones, all my basic ones are in a row.
I didn't put super strength on my list, and I have my reason why. But tell me why? Because I obviously I see the perks of super strength, but I want to know why you picked it, and then I'll let you know why I didn't.
I see perks and I see downsides to it. I feel like I'm very critical of superpowers.
So yeah, I feel like we're both being like, I didn't think I'd be this critical of it going into it.
We're way too nerdy when it comes to this shit. No, strength is like, I feel like it'd be cool, but again, it's also kind of one of those things where it's like, there's not much you're gonna do with that. Like, you could save people, but again,
how often do you find yourself being like, God, I wish I had super strength right now?
I really have to lift this car. And also, if you are stopping a crime, the only superpower you fucking need is like karate. Like you don't need you do not need to be able to punch a hole in a fucking wall.
Yeah.
To like that's a killing machine. Especially when it's like I feel like you probably wouldn't know your own strength for a lot of the time.
I guess I could finally take all the groceries in one trip and like
yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it would also be really cool because it'd be like I don't know. I feel like it'd be useful for like a lot of stuff. Like if you ever need anything moved, like you can move everything around on your own. It's just I would be using it for practical uses and stuff like that. And then also I do consider super strength to go along with because that's I consider that being every kind of strength. So it increase like grip strength and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would think like you'd be able to climb a ton of shit because you'd
probably just jump higher because your legs would just be stronger.
And same thing, you'd be able to jump way higher. You'd probably be able to run pretty quick too. Like so there's like extra little perks like that where I'm like that kind of makes it worth it, and that's what brings it up to 6 for me. If we were just talking about like literally only arm strength that you were getting, this shit wouldn't even be on my list because it's.
So my drawback on super strength is because in a lot of time in like I think they haven't really done it in movies, but I've seen it in comics a few times where it's like they'll show Superman or Spider-Man like when they work out, like they have to make these giant machines because every weight is so light to them. So if you just woke up one day and had super strength, like I don't assume that if you had super strength that automatically would give you like the Greek god figure, right?
Yeah, no,
that wouldn't happen.
Well, I mean, look at Spider-Man.
Yes, but like I feel like that just happens just in the comics just for the sake of like, yeah, you have super strength, so of course you would look physically strong.
Well, he doesn't really look physically strong though either. That's what I'm saying. Spider-Man, he's just kind of cut.
That's true.
But like he doesn't really look strong. He's just still kind of like a skinny kid.
Spider-Man is typically still pretty scrawny because like
that's why I think a lot of people don't like understand how strong he is. Like he's one of the strongest people in the MCU. He literally doesn't use it.
And so the problem I find with super strength is that like, okay, if I wanted to like look my strength, I just literally wouldn't be able to. There's nothing in the world right now that would be like that, like, or at least like, well, I guess it depends how strong you are, but if you had like Superman super strength, like you would have to build something to be able to get yourself to work out, and so you would just never be able to like, I don't know, like you would basically make your muscles useless because they wouldn't be able to actually grow and anything because they're already like they have it would be they will have the peak strength, but they won't look it. Does that make sense?
I've never like considered super strength to be something that would be like a muscular thing in shows and stuff. I've considered it being something that's like you just have it. You can just be stronger. You're not really like muscly.
It's not like I'm not worried about not being muscly. I'm worried about like you would start to I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you would be permanently pigeonholed. Yeah. You cannot your body type is now your body type. I guess maybe you could. No, but like, could you lose the weight because you're not really giving your body a proper workout if everything's so easy? Like, I guess maybe from cardio you still could. But like, it's the kind of thing of like, I'm just sitting there. It's like, I don't know if I would want to
I mean, I don't work out anyways, so I'm none of this.
I go through phases, but like, it's not so much that I'm like, I would want that build and I can't have that build, therefore I don't want that power. It's just the fact that like, I don't know. I'm worried about like what could happen from the thing of like, I've peaked out my muscles in terms of how they work, but they don't, not how, but like, they're not actually like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't, it's just weird that's like that. Like if I wanted to actually like keep in shape, it's literally impossible.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. It 100% would be.
So that was my reason for not including it. My number
very good. It is a very good reason.
My number 5 is similar to my last one is telepathy. So I put, which is now like communicating to someone in their mind.
Yeah.
I would imagine the other person would need to have telepathy to be able to talk back.
Yeah.
But like it's read minds and talk, and it's like, again, like I know there's in the wrong hands that could go really terrible. Yeah. I'm not saying like, I want to go and read everyone's minds, but it would be useful to like, one, I feel like if you want to tell someone something covertly, to just be able to like, I put it in your mind. Yeah. And also just like, again, like it would, I don't know, it would just help. It could help, like you could turn that into a job, you know, like you'd be a hell of a good lawyer if you could honest to God tell when people were doing whatever, like there's perks to that.
I feel like there's just so many of these. It was like, I feel like with that kind of power, like this is what they say in Spider-Man, right? With
great power, great responsibility.
I feel like there's so many people. And like, I can't even say that I wouldn't. I feel like if I got superpowers, there's like there would be something where I was just like, I am better than everyone. I can do whatever I want. There is nothing that can stop me.
Like, so like the thing about telepathy that's concerned, so I feel like if someone read my mind, that's a huge violation of my privacy, right?
Huge.
So I would have like, there would be that moral like when do I use it? But like when I wrote it down, when I was deciding between the two, and like I still really feel like I could flip them back and forth between 6 and 5. But my thing is that it's like, you ever have someone say something to you and you're like, I am so positive you're lying to me right now, but I can't like, if you say like, are you lying to me? They won't say yes. And like it, like I'm not, there's nothing after that, it's dead there. There's nothing you can do about it. But there's just times where it's like, I know you're lying to me. Yeah. And sometimes it's like if it's like maybe it's like a shitty friend, right? Yeah. And it's like, if I knew the whole truth, then maybe that would help me realize that like I don't want this person in my life, and I can move on. And if you could just be like, and like, yeah, you're lying. That's why it's like, then that would be sick. But it would be, you're right, it would be really good for being a lawyer. Yes. A lawyer would be really, really objection, I can read his mind.
I'm going to stop us real quick just so we can swap SD cards. So super speed is my number 5. I think it's pretty cool, honestly. Like I do. Yeah. But again, I think
it's nothing special.
I think there's flaws within it. Yeah. But again, like if we're talking about there's no flaws and like it's portrayed how it is in the movies, it's pretty cool. Yeah. You can go places pretty quick. That's kind of why you're gonna notice.
Like I would never aspire to be like a speedster for a superhero, but like if my options were no superpower or super speed, I'd take super speed. You know?
Yeah, I would take super speed. Yeah. What is your number 4?
My number 4.
We're gonna speed through like these next few here.
Yes, because we are on a time crunch for this one.
Well, they are, and these are just very common.
My number 4 is invisibility. I ranked it pretty high. So I the thing about invisibility is that like I do to actually like benefit your life, I guess like there's not really many ways. Like you could turn invisible and like rob something, because then they would not be able to trace you, depending on if fingerprints get left behind if you're invisible.
Good call. Yeah, that's a good thought.
So I guess, but like it depends also how your invisibility works. Like, is it just you, or do your clothes turn invisible? Because then you can wear gloves, and that kind of null and voids that. Dude, if you have to strip down if you want to be invisible outside, like I would. Even if I was invisible, it's like I don't want to walk around. I'm not doing that. No. Yeah. So
what if you forget to turn it on? Like, how do you?
Yeah. Like what if it's like So there's a lot of what ifs there. But
I think it'd be funny to just be a floating thing of clothes though. Around. That would just be funny for like just content creation purposes. Well, that's a cool prank I'm gonna do. You just fucking turn invisible.
But like sometimes like you ever just like in a point where it's like I just kind of want to disappear right now. Where you're just like either like whether it's just like you're exhausted from the day or whatever.
Or
it's like
you're at a party and you're like nobody notices me anyways. Gone.
Yeah, like could you imagine like just being able to like turn invisible and just take 5 somewhere, or even just like you could go to events that like you didn't pay for. That's like probably a pretty chill like crime that you could commit with invisibility. Is that like you turn invisible, you hop the fence or whatever. You like I'm thinking like a music festival or something. Like like something like
that'd be cool. Something like crimes that don't hurt anybody. Yeah, but they kind of just like help you live. Yeah, because that is what I would definitely use superpowers to. I know, like everyone would. Everyone would. Don't sit here and tell me some stuff.
Yeah, like if I could turn invisible and then just like
walk through security somewhere.
Yeah, and it's like cool. Now I can go do this thing and I can save the money and it's like whatever.
Or like I would actually just like turn invisible, go into the airport and take a free flight.
Well, that would I guess
I would 100% do that.
I get. Although once you're on the plane, you might not have a seat, so then you have to stand. If you're still invisible and you're standing, you wouldn't really have a spot to stand because you'd be getting in the way of people. So it's like
I would try and I would get into the cockpit. You know how they always got the cockpit open when they everybody's boarding? I would just sit in the back of the cockpit. Nobody's moving around in there. Yeah, I'll just sit in the back of the cockpit. Oh, it's over. No, right, walk away.
I'd be worried about making noise though too. You'd have to be dead quiet.
I guess so. I wouldn't really be worried because I was like, I'm not really worried about anybody finding me.
Maybe invisibility isn't that great.
I wouldn't be worried about anybody finding number 4. I really think that invisibility is actually just for creepy people.
Yeah, like the more we've talked about it, the more I'm like, maybe it's not that useful. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, no, the only people that want to be invisible are people that are not allowed to step 30 feet within a park.
Yeah, or people who would like go to like people who want to like go look in change rooms and stuff that's creepy.
That's the first thing that I think of when I think of someone who wants to be invisible, and I'm like, yeah, you're fucking weird. Yeah, you're a weirdo.
Maybe I guess it's not that. I think this is like one of the first times
I change your mind on something.
Yeah, where I'm just like, maybe you're not number 4.
Oh my god, Lewis had a good opinion. Holy shit.
Well, hold on.
Minus that sandwich. That abomination of a sandwich. My number 4. That's what I'm on, right? Number 4. Yep. And my number 4 is flight. We've already talked about this. Flight is very cool. You can go anywhere in the world. Super cool. That's pretty much what I would use it for.
It's good. And
again, I would want flight to be like I could go to space because that would make it extra cool.
Kind of like kind of basic, but also like not Apple basic, like ice cream pizza basic. Yeah. Where it's like it's still good.
Yeah. No, I think it would just be very very cool to just to be able to fly, or like if I wanted to go up into space and fly around I feel like it would just be really cool to go wherever. That's just very freeing. It would be very freeing.
Same thing with like the where I was at with like the being underwater, where it's like it just feels like you could be peaceful up there.
Yeah, I do think it would be difficult, especially because like I'm not like it's not like I'm afraid of heights, but it's like I feel
what if it just went away?
Like if I'm in a plane and I'm looking down at the earth, that doesn't scare me in the slightest. That's fine. That's completely fine. But it's when like. Because I know I'm safe up there. I'm encased in something. But if I'm just up there, nothing around me to protect me. And the thought of
just like you hitting the ground,
Yeah, like that's kind of scary.
Weirdly, being closer to the ground makes it more scary. Not like close to the ground, but like when you're high up, like it seems a lot more real. If you're so high that you can't see the ground or like you just see the earth, I feel like that would not be as scary as being like 30,000 feet up on a clear day and being able to see everything below you and knowing that fall is a wildly long... just horrendous. And there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You're just like, no one's gonna come find and save you.
You're the only one that can do it.
Yeah. My number 3 is teleportation. Because for the same reasons as flying, but also I feel like it has less drawbacks than flying, like the ones I was talking about earlier, where it's like, okay, if I just like, let's say like, okay, I was trying to figure out how to get my suit here. Imagine if I could just like grab my suit. Now I'm back.
Your number 3 is teleportation?
Yeah.
So is mine.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that's sick. I love teleportation so much. That's such a cool.
It seems super useful.
And that one, like, I guess technically you could be a creep with it too, but not nearly as much. And you're not really using.
There's also a lot more opportunity to not be a creep with it.
There's a lot more opportunity for it to like actually have like a working value. The amount of times that I've thought to myself, damn, I wish I could just fucking teleport there. Like, because I live like 40 minutes from you by transit. 40, 50 minutes. Sometimes it takes like an hour. Like it took me almost an hour today to get here. And dude, I would absolutely just be like, yo, you do anything? Like, can I come over right now?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm there.
Yeah. Done. Like I need something. It's like, oh shit, I have that, but it's at home. I can go and get it. It's like, oh, I want to I want to sleep in, go to work, bam. Like again,
I love the idea of being like, oh, I would really, really like some real like let's say like ethnic Chinese food tonight, and just teleport to China, get some food, go home.
Yeah, like there's a lot of perks, and like I guess like the whole you can get to the logistics of like how do you pick where you want to go. I would like to think that like it's a kind of thing of like maybe you can like see the spot beforehand in your mind, and then maybe you can go or maybe I
like to think of just like you think of like I would think it'd be like knowledge based. So it's like if you can think of an exact location, then you could exactly teleport.
But like you don't want to teleport on like into like either into a wall or where someone already is or like.
Oh yeah, I don't think it would allow for that. What's your number 2? I feel like I really like my number 2.
I like my top 3 are pretty good. So my number 2 is shape shifting.
Oh, cool.
Because someone pointed out
that on my list, but it is cool.
So someone yesterday said something that was very enlightening to me, and especially with what you said about invisibility, is that shape shifting I think could give you all the things that you would want from like the perks of invisibility without just turning you invisible. So if you wanted to like, if you wanted to be like a fly on a wall for a conversation, you could be there.
Yeah, you could
as
be
someone
a fly on
else,
the wall.
or as some like maybe you can like I don't know if like maybe you can just shapeshift into an entirely different person.
I would think that you'd be able to shapeshift into anything that is matter.
Yeah,
like I think that if I wanted to, I'd be able to shapeshift into like a small planet and just
yeah.
I feel like that'd be really cool. I like or just like being like an inanimate object.
Imagine how many powers you open up for yourself. Shapeshift into a bird, now you can fly.
Yeah.
Well, shapeshift into a fish, now you can be underwater. It's like it opens up a lot like it's a loophole that I like because it doesn't feel like cheaty. It just feels like no, you're turning yourself into a pre-existing thing that also provides you with this power.
Awoke something in me. You remember Wildcrats?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was more specifically thinking Beast Boy from Teen Titans when I was thinking, but like yeah, same thing.
Wildcrats were so cool, bro. That was such a cool show. Just on a complete side note.
But like yeah, just shapeshifting. It would be interesting. Like and yeah, maybe even if just like if you want to be maybe like you really want to be a basketball player, but like you aren't tall enough, you could just shapeshift into you but taller.
No idea what that issue would be like.
Yeah, well I do. But
for those that don't know, I'm tall.
Yes, and I'm amazing. Just
you're
the
not
way
short though either.
But I can't say that.
Yeah,
I can't sit here. I was sitting here, was like, okay, the position I've put myself in is that I now have to be like, and I'm average height. No one will believe that, but I can't say I'm tall because I'm like,
Nick's not short. You're not.
I'm
short.
7'1",
how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Yeah, so you're taller than average.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as soon as someone asks me my height and I go 5, like But
yeah, no, it's exactly the same thing where like I someone asked me my height and at the moment I say 6, it looks like they've just woken up on Christmas.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God, you're a freak of nature. You know that? Holy shit.
How's the air up there?
You belong in a zoo. Thanks.
Yeah, shapeshifting.
My number 2, we can kind of brush.
Imagine shapeshifting into a bird, flying over the security into like a music festival.
That'd be good.
That'd be sick.
I'd be go to every. Wow.
Yeah.
I would be going to every music festival.
That would be so much more interesting too than turning invisible and hopping a fence.
I would shapeshift into a plane to go places.
Yeah. Like you
or a rocket ship. I would shapeshift into a ballistic missile in order to get around the world really quickly, and then just imagine the panic you would cause. Imagine the panic you would cause.
Missile.
Like, oh my, where did it go?
Yeah, now it's a butterfly.
Like, I don't. It says it hit the ground, but it's not. It's not there. There's still a heat signature. It's just a dude, though.
Yeah, it's just some guy, and he's like drinking a lot of water. Must have taken a big toll on him, whatever he just did. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Your number 2
is magic. Just magic. Just having magic.
Yeah, I'd count that. That's
yeah. I think that's so cool. You can do anything with that.
For my next trick, I'm gonna make myself disappear. We'll see if I decide to do anything with that in the edit.
If you want, we can record just footage of me just being like, whoa. And
well, I would just need to mask out my half and take one from earlier with me not sitting down, which definitely exists.
Yeah. No, and then I'm just technically talking to you. You could run this audio over it still, too. And I'm like obviously talking to you, but even running a mask on this is kind of hard, though.
Yeah, I probably will.
The cables. Yeah.
Yeah, in my book.
That's a lot of work.
But yeah.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Magic. Yeah, because again, you'd get like telekinesis and like you'd probably get like, I don't know. Like it's broad, so I don't really know what it would entail necessarily, but I also feel like I do like know what you mean. Like I don't know, I'm thinking of just like anyone who like there's superheroes that it's like, yeah, they are magic is what their superpower is that they are magic. So I'm thinking of just like what they can do, where it's just kind of like, I don't know, I guess like spells and stuff. Yeah. Things like that, kind of along those lines.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Magic's pretty sick.
Number one. What's your number one?
My number one, I have long said that this is the best superpower.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, the best superpower is the ability to freeze time.
Cool, because mine also has to do with time.
So, okay, that's sick. Because like I'm thinking like, okay, snap my fingers, I freeze time. But I'm also thinking like it freezes my body from aging. I can still move around and do what, but I don't want to have it like, let's say I froze time for 2 years. I wouldn't want to unfreeze it and be 2 years older, because then it's not a good power. But I'm thinking if
that's so wild though, because think of how lonely life is. Or would you be able to decide who/what is frozen?
I guess if you could do that, like that would be cool.
But like freeze time, but you and your buddy aren't frozen. You just fucking do whatever you want.
The reason I think I would really like it'd be cool if you could freeze time and you and your friends could do whatever. Because like I'm thinking like, okay, if I'm exhausted and I work in the morning, like I could freeze time, get fucking however much sleep I want, unfreeze time. I have my day. I have my day to do whatever.
I feel like you would get tired really quickly though. Like things would be, because your days immediately, the moment you start using that, the moment you start fucking everything up in terms of how long you are actually supposed to live.
You would have to like have some kind of self-control. But I'm thinking of just like again, like editing videos. Like what if I could like freeze time and it's like, it won't take me from 6 till 9 p.m.
To get everything out on
I could
like
just freeze time and I still have my days. Like, or I don't have the time to work out today. I'm going to freeze time and go to the gym. Yeah. And then I'm going to unfreeze time. I was like, I could freeze time, go to the gym, come back, shower, take a nap after I could eat. And then I was like, and then I could like go to work that day. Or if I want to have a morning, if I have like an early shift and have a morning, I can freeze time, have breakfast, I just think there's so much use that could come of that. Like, especially if you can freeze time and like pick people to like stick around. Like imagine like you're shooting something and you could freeze time to like, then you could like have like
I assume like any objects you would touch as well stop being frozen kind of thing. Like
yes, like you interact doors, like you interact with the world and stuff. But like just like I've always thought
like if you touch people they can that would be kind of sick.
Yeah, maybe if you like
get into an Uber and be like,
just like grab their shoulder and you snap your fingers and like they unfreeze with you. Yeah. Because like I just think like there's like like you're saying, like you could like have fun with friends and like I could just get more done with my day, be more productive. Like, and I know it's easier said than done. Like would I actually end up doing it? But it's like I feel like the biggest part of like why I don't is because I'm just like, I just had a long day. Like I don't have that much time before I have to go to bed and get up tomorrow. Like I just kind of want to relax. Yeah. If I could freeze time, or like if I could nap and then freeze time, like I can like.
I think it'd be funny.
Think about homework too.
Yeah. I think it'd be funny if you could freeze time and everything does still age, but everybody's just frozen. Everything and everybody is just frozen. Yeah. So then everybody's like, what's going on? And then they see you walk by and they're like, oh, this dick.
Yeah. Oh, this fucking dude.
Yeah. One of these.
And you just like freeze like that for like 4 years. The only other thing though is like too is like what happens if you like freeze time and then you die? Is the universe frozen forever?
Oh. Yeah, that's true. I guess don't do anything stupid while you're frozen time. Yeah.
But yeah, like
that's a good one.
I just think there's a lot of good pros there. Like if I could have one superpower, that'd be my pick.
So I said mine had to do with time. I picked a lot of my superpowers based off of what my personal experience would be and how I could enjoy life the most, rather than like I'm not trying to save people.
Because I know I wouldn't be a good superhero. I feel like that's what was the motivation behind mine. Is that I was like all the stuff that I want to get done that I never do because there's not enough time in the day and my energy is gone.
I would do time travel. I would travel back and forth between all the goddamn times. But what if you fuck up the
space-time continuum? Yeah. What if you fuck up the space-time continuum and you permanently change the future?
So that's one of the ones where I'm like, the same motherfuckers saying that are the same people that say...
Invisibility makes you blind?
Yes, exactly. Fuck right off. I'm talking about time travel where it doesn't affect anything. I can go do whatever I want. Doesn't matter at all. I'm in a different...
Would you like go back and invest in like Apple and then like... like at an early age or like some other like big
I would
company?
Believe that like nothing actually changes in it. Like if I go to the past and do something, I would believe that it doesn't actually change it. It just creates a new timeline. Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't actually affect my personal future. So it's like I could just travel around, do whatever I want. I would also do the same kind of thing where like it doesn't age you. Yeah. But it's just like if I wanted to go on a trip, like, okay, what do I want to go on a trip to? What do I want to see? Or if I'm doing a history project, something like that, something for school. If I want to do something about the Beatles, I'll go back. I'll watch the Beatles. Yeah. I'll go to an actual concert or something like that. And like, I feel like that'd be like really, it's just such a useful thing for everything. I've always just been so interested by history. And I feel like it'd be a very, very good thing to go like just very, very fun to go back and experience history.
Yeah. And see what the world's going to be like after you're gone. Although I'd be a little bit afraid to see. I don't want spoilers for life. No. Because that would affect how I act in the present.
I'd be going further in the future than my lifetime ever could possibly last.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe the odd time I would be like, I really want to see this movie now.
Yeah.
Could go watch this movie.
I'd be going further in the future than time would ever possibly allow me to live. Because like,
that's true.
I wouldn't want to.
You wouldn't want to know about like what's going to happen in your future.
Yeah, I'd love to go and see like descendants of mine that are like way down the line. I'd love to go see that and like see where people ended up, and that'd be really cool. But I would not want to know anything about myself in terms of the future, because that would be like, I feel like
it would mess with your head. It would mess how you decision make.
I would want the power to actually inhibit me from doing that, because again, that's also tempting. Because imagine like something horrible is happening in your life,
or you're like,
oh shit, I need to know how this ends. It's like a good book. Sometimes you skip to the end and you read the end. I don't read very often anymore, but I used to a lot.
I can't read.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
there's pictures on my book.
Try this. Try this superpower: reading, idiot.
Oh no,
it's so good. Number one superpower: reading.
Is reading.
Yeah, educational.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.
Alrighty, let's throw these on the list. So our camera
let's throw them on the board.
Yeah, let's so our camera doesn't die. How much time we got left? Sorry, I'm gonna come look at you guys very intently. Give me a second.
Take a look.
15 minutes.
Reading Rainbow.
Okay, we have 15 minutes.
So
let's run this up.
My number 10 was flight.
Your number 10 was flight. My number 10 was omnilingualism.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm all turned around for this list now because I've changed my mind on some of these after talking them out loud.
I'm just so inspiring.
I feel like super speed.
Super speed there? Yeah, let's put it there. Because we both have unanimously decided that we hate it.
Like we like flight more than speed.
It needs to go on the list.
Super speed.
But like we both decided that it's not fun or cool or good.
Oh wait,
or should we put invisibility there because it's worse? It's definitely worse.
I feel like we just I feel like we don't even have to put invisibility on the list.
Just fuck invisibility?
Well, yeah, like if we're running out of spots, then we can bump everything down one, put invisibility at 10. But I don't think it's a good power anymore.
Yeah,
I think it's entirely. I think it's useful. I
can't believe I didn't put it at 7.
Yeah, I think I put it at 4. But like the more I thought about it, it's like, dude, like I guess the only things you can really do with it is just like crime. That's it.
No, it's actually just like not good.
Yeah,
you can't do good things, and especially if it's not coupled with like super strength or anything like that. Yeah, you're not fighting crime.
It's like cool now. There's no one can see you.
Yeah,
I'm kind of reevaluating my whole list, dude. This is crazy.
I'm reevaluating my life. That started before the episode. Though.
I think we gotta start down here and go up. I think that's the best way to do this.
Okay. What's our one then? Should we just combine our ones and like say time manipulation?
Yes.
Fuck it. Yeah, absolutely. This is the first time we've ever looked at this and had the same number 1. That's insane.
That's true. That's true. I'm just gonna put time control because manipulation's too long.
That's fair. No, I think this is the first time that we've ever agreed and had like a number 1
be basically the same thing. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Dude, good for us. We're becoming more and more. This show is going to get more and more boring the more we know each other.
Because we're just like, yeah, of course.
We're slowly becoming each other. Yeah.
Number 2, I feel like shape-shifting is pretty good.
Shape-shifting? I had magic.
I feel like magic's just too broad, you know?
It is very broad because it does kind of encompass some of this stuff. So we can throw it on here, but like higher up.
Yeah, because I just feel like I can't pinpoint exactly like what you can like. If I was saying like this person has magical powers, I couldn't exactly tell you what that would entail. Yeah, because it's varied across everything.
I feel like you wouldn't even know if you had magic. I feel like if you had magic, you yourself wouldn't even know what you were possibly capable of.
Yeah, so that I feel like that makes it be a little bit higher. I think shape-shifting is invisibility turned useful.
Yeah, let's throw it on there. Number 2, shape-shifting. Because I kind of fuck with shapeshifting after you talked to me about it.
Like the fact
it would
that
be really cool.
Yeah, because like you could like the fact of like even just like turning into animals giving you more use for things.
I didn't fuck with it before, like when I was doing my list, because I saw shapeshifting on there and I was like,
well, yeah, if you just want to turn into another person, then like it's not really that.
That's also kind of cool.
It is kind of cool, but it would
like
get
imagine
boring
if you
after
could just
a while.
Turn into the president and be like, horrible, and I just announce the most audacious
Wendy's
shit.
is now free.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then everybody, Wendy's like, why do I? Imagine if you could shapeshift into Wendy herself.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would like all the burgers, please.
I think it's so funny because for the past like 5 episodes, you've given me a marker and I haven't written anything down.
Yeah. Then I don't have to write. I'm going to put my marker down.
Oh shit!
I'm putting my foot down.
God damn it! Now I have to work. Now
number 3.
Now it's a real job. Number 3, I had teleportation.
I also had teleportation.
That's right.
So clearly that's what that should be.
It's more awkward from this side.
Yeah, we'll get got kid. So while you do that, my number 4 was invisibility.
Are you left-handed? You are, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
No. Why don't I think you were?
Good question. Probably because I write like shit. But also I'm writing on an angle. Like I'm writing.
Wait, yeah, my writing's fucking horrible too. So it's whatever.
I had invisibility. I don't think it should be that.
No, we both had invisibility now.
What do you think is better?
I had flight for 4.
I think flight is more of like a here kind of thing.
You want to just throw flight at like 6?
Yeah, sure. I'm thinking telekinesis for 4. The ability to move and bend and break things with your mind.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That makes sense to me. Telekinesis.
That I spelled it right.
Move with your mind. Let's see. I'm running. Then yeah, flight's there. Hydrokinesis. That was the water one.
Yeah, I've got like the water like bending and whatever for like 9.
Do we? Okay, so then do we want to put that at like? Do you
want to just put benders?
I hardly know her. You had that at 9?
Yeah.
I also had mine at 9. And even though I regret putting mine at 9, I've made my bed and I will lay in it. So I guess we should put it at 9.
Should I just write benders or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bender. Dude, my superpowers, I go on fucking crazy benders, dude.
Crazy benders, bro.
Okay, so 8, 7, and 5.
8.
We still have telepathy.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
For like reading minds.
Okay, let's put that at 5.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's better than flight.
I
this
agree.
one's such an easy list to make.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's because we're rushing because of the camera. I don't think it is, but
I think it's a little bit of that. We're used to having to rush from the redacted days.
We also
had a strict time limit.
Yeah, we also just seem to have
we agreed a lot.
Yeah, we agree a lot.
And also, I turned my back on a lot of my picks. After we finished, I was like, I no longer agree with invisibility. I no longer agree with super speed, and I kind of wish I put hydrokinesis up higher.
Okay, the only ones of mine that I don't have on here now are invisibility, which we're not putting on. Strength, we don't have on there. But again, I don't know if we really want that on there. I've got necromancy still too, and I've got the omnilingualism.
I have
any of those are options.
I have probability manipulations. The only one on here left that I really think is worth anything. Cool. Yeah, let's put that. In my personal opinion, I think 7 and 8 would be, and I don't really care what order. I just think probability manipulation and necromancy.
Okay, cool.
I feel
should we do rock paper scissors for which one?
Yeah, sure.
7. Okay.
On shoot.
Yeah.
And just one or best 2 out of 3.
Just one.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Rock paper scissors shoot. Rock paper scissors shoot. Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna go in order. So yeah, necromancy at 7,
yeah.
And
I'm fucking.
Yeah. At number 8 we have
this is
probability manipulation, and at number 7 we have necrophilia.
You hear that? It's a superpower.
No. Yeah, I turned my back on a lot of my picks by the end of that. That was interesting. I didn't expect that.
And what was the other one?
Probability manipulation. Because like speaking every language is cool, but to me it's less superpowery, because while I don't think it really is possible, it is the most possible, and to me I think that actually takes some points off.
Yeah.
That you could theoretically learn a bunch of languages.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could ever learn all the languages.
Yeah.
But
I do know there's this one guy on
that could be number 11
that's like really good at learning languages, and he's actually really cool. He learned Norwegian in 2 weeks and then did an interview on a Norwegian news channel.
You got to have
which
your
is
brain
so cool.
wired a certain way for that. It's
so cool.
I don't think I could learn a whole language in 2 weeks.
You know, he like learned Mandarin in 1 year by just living in Beijing. Which that is probably helped. So wild.
Is being immersed and surrounded by it.
Learning a language that's so different, because Mandarin is like, we think about learning languages and there's like English is a mix between like Roman languages and Germanic languages, whereas Mandarin is just its own language. There is no mix of any other. There probably is, but it's not a mix that I know of, and it's not a mix that's common to the West.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's actually just fully different.
It's a different ball game.
Different alphabet. Like completely different.
Yeah.
Symbols for every word.
So that being said, our super final picks here.
Yes, the superest of super episodes.
Yes.
What are we gonna name this episode? This one, I feel like this one has a lot of potential.
That's true.
You name the episodes really well. I always, Nick always releases the episodes, and then I see the name afterwards. I every single time I'm just like, yeah, that's so good.
I changed Rankenstein to Rankingstein because I was like, oh, I can just put the whole name of the show in there. So now it's it's Rankingstein on the YouTube channel.
That's so funny. I love them. All right, I'll start us off because I think you started us off last episode.
I think so.
Yeah.
So take it away.
All right. Number 10, we've got super speed.
At number 9, we have, what do we have?
Benders.
Oh yeah, Benders. Let's go crazy, dude.
At number 8, we've got probability manipulation.
At number 7, we have necromancy.
At number 6, we've got flight.
Number 5, we have telepathy.
Number 4, we've got telekinesis.
At number 3, we have teleportation.
Blip. Number 2, we've got shape-shifting.
And at number 1, time control.
Yeah, way better than last episode. Hold on.
Oh yeah. It took a minute to get it last one, but that was also the first one we recorded.
Oh my god. So sorry for like the rushed ending of this.
However, also it's going to be a bit of a choppy edit because we're going to have to cut together some things, but it's okay.
Great episode though. Like I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty solid list of superpowers. I'm really curious what people think because every time I do one of these, some family member texts me and goes, "This was clearly wrong. You should have entirely done this."
Yeah. As I said, my family members don't watch, so
I have like uncles and cousins that do.
See, that's so wild to me because literally, I don't think, like, maybe my dad watches these episodes. Maybe. Apart from that, I don't think any of my family. They all used to watch the live. Sometimes my mom. I don't know if my mom did as much, but nobody watches them. Actually, and it's not because they don't care.
No, it's I get it. It's an hour-long video that I'm asking you to take time every week. Actually, I do think it's just mainly my uncle who watches all of them. I just think that a lot of my family is just aware of the show, and so they've seen the thumbnails or they've seen like the posts on my story, so they know what episode we did.
I don't even know if my mom is aware like how much we're doing for this show. This show has like come so far.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys, by the way, for helping us bring this show so far. It's been a great time. I feel like I'm like really starting to settle into the vibe that we've created in each episode. Like this is episode 7 now. Yeah. So this is almost 2 months.
Yes,
now
and you can
of new
officially watch one episode of the new series for one day every week. You can go back. There's 7 episodes. You can watch it. You can watch one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We're about to next week. We will have outlived the live series.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. We only had 7 last time.
Yeah.
So, wow! Thank you for watching. Yeah. We're the Rankings, and we super ranked a thing today.
We did indeed.
Yes, and now we must be away.
Comment your favorite superpower.
Up, and away.
Am I out of frame? How about now? Am I out of frame? Did it look like I flew away?
Move legs. Yeah, you gotta like. Yeah, you gotta.
Shit.